Welcome to the Management Advantage. On today's show, we're going to be discussing food plot maintenance. You've already selected the proper site. You've planted the right products. You've got a beautiful field, but it doesn't stop there. You've got to maintain that field so you can have a healthy food plot for years to come. So right after these messages, we're going to discuss the 5 integral components to food plot maintenance.
Welcome to the Management Advantage, gaining the advantage through proper land management with your host, Chuck Sykes, who is dedicated to sound wildlife management practices and principles that will help both sportsmen and landowners get the optimum potential from their land. Sponsored by Realtree, the camouflage revolution begins here. Holland Grill, nothing else stacks up. Motorola, share your adventure. The Whitetail Institute of North America. Deer Nutrition is all we do. Augusta Turf and Specialty Vehicle, the exclusive home of the Team Realtree Edition Easy Go Workhorse ST480. Arsenal by BASF, the Lodge of Louisiana, your local Dodge dealer. Grab life by the horns. And the BASF Vegetative Group.
Food plot maintenance can be broken down into 5 categories: bush hogging, chemical release, soil testing, liming, and fertilizing. These are the 5 things that you should go through each year to make sure your food plot is in proper condition. So on today's show, we're going to take a look at all of those components, give you some good tips that you can use on your property so you've got the best food plot that you can have. First thing we're going to talk about today is bush hogging.
The first step to look at your food plot to determine how you need to maintain it is to look at the weeds. Right here in this field here, they were too high. So what we're doing is we're bush hogging the weeds down to an optimal level of about 6 to 8 inches. Then, if they start coming back and they're small enough, you can use a herbicide to control those weeds. Go with us as we show you how to use the proper herbicides and the proper use of the herbicides to control weeds in your food plot.
All right, step 1's completed. You got your food plot bush hogged. Next step is chemical release to get control over your broadleaf weeds as well as your grasses. Folks, after your bush hogging is completed, the next step in proper food plot maintenance is applying your herbicide to help rid your clover fields from unwanted grasses and weeds. Now today, Rodney's going to be using a boomless sprayer on the back of a tractor. I want you to tell everybody what chemical we're using and why.
Today we're going to be using a BASF product called Vantage. And what Vantage does is it controls your grass weeds that come up in your plot. In this field we're going to be targeting residual ryegrass and residual oats that have been left over in previous years for different landowners putting those different seeds in the field.
Now Rodney, what's the percentage of your chemical mix to your water on this field?
Okay, it's 3.75 pints of Vantage to about 20 gallons of water. And it worked out on this particular field is about 1.8 acres, which is roughly about 7 pints.
All right. Now before you start spraying, I want you to carry us out there and show us some of the specific weeds that you're going to be targeting with this spray.
Okay, Chuck, if you look right here, there's some that the bush hog may have missed, but that 3.7 pints will take control of that.
All right, now this is oats right here.
That's just regular oats. And what you're doing when you mow your field, see if you look at this set of oats, it's regrowing and it's putting a lot of energy back into the plant and growth. And what happens is when you spray that herbicide on it, it takes it right up in there and kills it quickly.
Right, so when you're mowing it down, you're getting it to a manageable level, plus you're making it re-sprout where you got good new growth to make it suck that chemical on down to the roots.
Exactly. If you look, I think there's some ryegrass over here.
Yeah, that's enough ryegrass for 20 stands right there.
It can be a mess.
And you've got to kill it before it puts out seed again.
Right.
So the Vantage will take care of the grasses, but what about the broadleaf like this nettle right here?
Well, there are herbicides. The BASF makes a good herbicide called Pursuit that takes care of broadleaf, but that's when you really got a broadleaf problem. That's one stem in about 2 acres.
Yeah.
And with proper mowing, you should be able to take care of something like that.
Okay, I got you. Don't let the size of the equipment Rodney was using in that other field make you think that you too can't spray on your own property. All we've got now is just a sprayer from API Outdoors that can fit on any ATV using the same mixture, the same rates. It's just on a little more manageable level for you landowners that doesn't have 150 horsepower John Deere to fix your food plots.
This will fit right on back in the 4-wheeler too.
And also, I mean, you can do this just the same with a 5-gallon backpack sprayer. If you've got a small plot that's out in the woods somewhere that's inaccessible with a boom sprayer like this. Just as long as you keep your mixtures the same, the concentration of your chemicals the same,
Right.
It doesn't matter how you put it out there, just get it out there and it'll take care of the job. All right, step number 2 is complete. Now it's time to go take your soil sample. Step number 3 in food plot maintenance is get a good soil sample. Now this field looks to me like it's lacking in something. We either need some lime or some fertilizer, so let's get a good sample.
Just remember, don't only take it in one spot. Take it, get a little bit here, and then take it in several other spots.
Right.
You get a general consensus of what's going on in your whole field.
Like Dr. Johnson said, you're sending in 1/2 millionth
Right.
of a sample. I mean, at 2 million pounds in an acre, and we're sending in 1 pound, so we've got to get a representative of all this field.
You know, it's more than likely going to be a fertilizer problem, but that's why we're doing our soil.
Right, I mean, you got a pretty good idea what it is, but guesstimating don't work.
Exactly.
You got to know what's going on.
Spend a little money and know what you got.
Now folks, when you get your analysis back from the lab, next step is to figure out how much lime and how much fertilizer you're gonna need. Now when you get that analysis back, it's not gonna tell you put 400 pounds of triple 13 to the acre. It's gonna give you percentages. Everybody tells you to follow the soil sample analysis, but they don't tell you how to read it. So as soon as Rodney gets through applying this fertilizer, we're gonna sit you down and show you how to go over and understand the results of that analysis so you can properly lime and fertilize your food plot. All right, you've taken your soil sample, you got your analysis back from the lab. Now what are you going to do? Well, each one of these analyses is broken down into lime requirements, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash or potassium. Now, for this one, we had no units of nitrogen, 30 units of phosphorus, and 85 units of potash. Now, from that requirement, how do you figure out what type of fertilizer and how much fertilizer to use? That doesn't tell me I need 400 pounds of triple 13 to the acre. How do I figure out what I need?
Okay, basically that's, like you said, 1 acre. So you can't find that in a 100-pound bag of fertilizer. Each fertilizer bag, like triple 13 or any other, that's 13 units
Per 100 pounds.
Because there's 50 pounds, they sell in 50-pound
Right.
bags, so you need 2 50-pound bags. And so let's look at the 30. So what I normally do is look and break it down and divide it, by 2 or 3. So I'll do this one by 2, and that gives me 15 units of phosphorus. And then it'll be about 43.
Yeah.
It's not really important to get exact numbers.
Right, you can go a little over or a little under, but it needs to be close.
And you should be able to find that, especially if you buy just like a 015 0.
Or straight potash is 0043.
Or it normally runs around 50 sometimes, which would be fine. And just put 200 pounds out per acre of each one of those. So if you found like a 015, you need 100 pounds of that.
Right.
And then 100 pounds of the 43.
Right.
And then that would fill your soil test requirements.
So like folks, if you got a typical triple 13 bag, you got 13 units of each element. If your analysis is 0-60-60, that triple 13 is not going to do the trick. But they do make a bagged up fertilizer that's 0-20-20. But that's 20 units. You need 60 units, so you're going to have to multiply that 20 by 3. So to properly fertilize that plot, you're going to need 300 pounds of 0-20-20 to fertilize that plot properly. Now, I hope this has shed a little light on some questions, but if you have more, you can get in touch with your local soil lab, or you can call Rodney down here at the Whitetail Institute, and he'll be happy to answer your questions.
Steve, we got started in 1988, and we've got a lot of satisfied customers out there with hundreds of thousands of acres of food plots and many, many mineral licks. But one of the misconceptions, I guess, that's probably most prevalent is the length of time it takes before people actually start noticing improvement in their deer. Let's take just a second and talk about that.
That's a good point, because a lot of people have that misconception that it may take 4 to 5 years before they see any benefit from their efforts to plant a food plot, and that's furthest from the truth. What people should expect to see from their efforts are this. The first fall after they've improved the nutrition available to the animal and use a very attractive plot like Imperial Whitetail Clover, Imperial Alfrac, what they should expect is to see more deer on their property the first fall, and also see increased buck activity. And after that, once the products are providing the high level of nutrition, the high level of protein during the entire spring and summer months preceding a fall, what they should see at that point is improved body weights and also antler development, especially on their younger deer. And those improvements should manifest themselves in each age class every year thereafter. So they can start seeing improvements really the first fall after they do it, with more deer and also increased buck activity. And then each year after that, they should see improvements in the quality of the animals themselves.
Thanks again for tuning in to the Whitetail Institute Management Minute. We've been giving you a lot of information over the past 13 weeks on how to manage your property for bigger and better whitetails. And I want to let you know that we've got consultants on staff should you have any questions that you might need to get answered. Also keep in mind that we've got an hour-long videotape. It's available just by calling the 800 number on your screen. The only charge is a $4.95 shipping and handling charge. We look forward to speaking with you. And thanks again for watching the Management Minute, and we'll see you next year.
Welcome to this week's Holland Grill cooking segment. It's Memorial Day weekend. If you're like most folks, you've got a crowd of people coming over this weekend. So the recipe for the day is just going to be plain and simple venison hamburgers. Just took ground venison, mixed in a little garlic, some black pepper, a little soy sauce, made some patties. We'll have some nice venison hamburgers in a little while. If you're not like some of us that's got everybody coming over this weekend, You're going out, going camping, taking a boat ride, just spending a little time with the family, and you still want to do some cooking, and you want the comfort of using a Holland grill, we've got the solution for you. Holland Grill makes the companion grill, which is a miniature version of this grill that I'm cooking on right now. Handy little unit, packs up, carry anywhere, and you got all of the same features that we do on this full-size Holland grill. It's not gonna drip, it's not gonna flame up, you can carry it anywhere with you. Carry it on picnics, carry it on boat rides, camping out by the lake, camping in the mountains. Got a handy carry bag that goes with it. You can carry the thing anywhere, and it cooks just like this big one. Folks, now that we've shown you all these simple and easy recipes using all types of Holland grills from the companion on up to the legacy, we want to take a moment to send out a special thanks to all of our men and women serving in our armed forces now, just like a good friend of mine, Trooper Al Maddox, who is with Army National Guard here out of Alabama. So I want you to join us here at the Management Advantage in sending out a special prayer for all of those who serve and protect us every day. We'll see you next year right here on the Holland Grill cooking segments. For all the critics out there that don't think you can grow clover in the South, that it can't withstand a drought, I hope you can see all this sweat that's pouring off of me right now. It's 95 degrees, middle of summer. That feels just as pretty as a picture, but it takes proper food plot maintenance to keep it that way. You got to go through your steps of bush hogging, chemical application, soil analysis, liming, and fertilizing. If you do those 5 things, you can keep your food plot growing for years and years. Now folks, to end the season out, we're going to show you a few bloopers. Things don't always run smoothly when we're trying to get these things shot. So thank you for watching. And all of y'all that's been calling, sending emails, wanting recipes, they will be on the website. Every recipe from every cooking segment. My wife is typing right now. She'll have them up. Y'all give Mr. Holland a call. Tell him thank you for sponsoring that spot so y'all can get all these good recipes. Folks, we'll see you next time right here on the Management Advantage.
Thank you for watching, and I want to make you aware that I don't do this very often.
All right.
And this is why.
Country, yeah. The Management Advantage will be right back in a moment.
Good shot.
Management Advantage will be right back in a moment.
Welcome to Management Advantage. Welcome to the Management Advantage. On today's show, we'll be talking about
squirrel management.
We're down here in West Alabama with Johnny Lanier and Leo Allen.
Gonna try to kill some squirrels.
Welcome to Management Advantage. We're down here with Johnny Lanier and Leo Allen hunting with Bent Creek Hunt Lodge. The dog's already treed. We're fixing to go to the squirrels. Stay tuned.
Dang, he's a treat again.
Show it to him.
Hi, I'm Lee Beck.
Outrig your four-wheeler with a spray tank and
Okay, one more time.
that you can apply Arsenal herbicide is through a contract helicopter.
2, 1.
Now it's him!
All
I'm
right,
just
let's go.
looking, I'm just looking.
Welcome to the Management Advantage. On today's show, we're going to be coming to you from Jefferson Parish, Louisiana, here with Bo Hamilton at the Lodge of Louisiana. We've got a great show planned. Crap. Oh. I hope you got that.
Okay, one more time. I promise, Chuck. I promise. Please don't lose patience with me.
Just touch lightly on a burning program. Tune in next week and we're going to actually carry you on the ground and show you how can you, what was you doing? You was out of focus.
Out of focus.
Welcome to the Management Advantage. twisting too much, he wasn't in focus. That didn't look like eggs to me.
No, it's
and I
not.
ain't even a fisheries biologist.
That's right. It's not eggs, and this fish is probably spawned. You're pretty good, yeah. If it comes out of this front hole and it's real dark, let me give you a clue. That's not eggs.
It's not an egg.
That's right.
Screen for American Sport Fish, where you too can get a subscription to the magazine. Small, golly, folks, small, 3, 2, 1. More way that we're helping you make. I've screwed up. We showed you sound wildlife management practices to help you improve your land. Now this year's going to be no exception. We've got a great bunch of shows planned for you. More tips, more management information, more exciting trips, and some guest co-hosts that, golly, that was going.
The Management Advantage was brought to you by Realtree. The camouflage revolution begins here. Holland Grill, nothing else stacks up. Motorola, share your adventure. The Whitetail Institute of North America. Deer nutrition is all we do. Augusta Turf and Specialty Vehicle, the exclusive home of the Team Realtree Edition Easy Go Workhorse ST480. Arsenal by BASF, the Lodge of Louisiana, your local Dodge dealer. Grab life by the horns. And the BASF Vegetative Group.
Hey, on any Southern woman, if you live in the South, you have to know how to cook country fried.
Go.
Welcome. What are you doing? And take this, dadgum, on a food plot that is in a proper location, from a stand as it is